What's going on, y'all? So, we're back. We're back for another What It Is video. And hopefully this will be a good video, good amount of length. Y'all know how a bitch get on here and just keep going. But, let me tell y'all something. It's some funny shit going on with this weather. Now, from this weekend, all the way up until yesterday, which was Wednesday, a bitch didn't have to wear not nan jacket up in his hoe. Wake up this morning, it's 40-something degrees, almost 50. Probably got to the high 50 degrees. Bitch, it's cold as fuck outside. I just got in the house. It is cold as shit outside. Okay? But, it's spring. I guess they had to let us know, bitch, it ain't summer yet, okay? It ain't summer yet. But, it's been nice. How have y'all been doing? Y'all? I gotta find an intro for these videos because, bitch, I be lost. Okay, y'all know I be trolling off. Anyway, let's get right down into it. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, so, first of all, let's just talk about this. Kendrick Lamar is going on tour, okay? Kendrick Lamar will be on fucking tour this summer. Ashley will be at that January, no, it's July 27th. Okay, I think it's a Friday. Bitch, I don't care what day it is. It's 7:30. I just know that Ashley will be in attendance, okay? I have got to go see that. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Let me tell you something. You pre-sale bitches, you tried it, okay? Ticketmaster, y'all tried it with American Card Express. Y'all fucking tried it with that pre-sale. And I mean, when I say pre-sale, y'all got the shittiest seats, okay? 300 level, 200, and the 100 that was just trash. I'm sitting here like, where's the flow seats? Y'all know me. Y'all know me. If I go to a show, I have to be on the floor or better, or not go, okay? And the only time I get into like the 100 is if it's the second time I'm going to the same show. Okay? Because I went to like Beyonce concert twice, the Mrs. Carter show, and the first time I was right there, did that, right there at the front, at the very front, okay? Saw all the shit and everything. And the second time I was on level 100, a little bit further from the stage. But I was more so by the B stage. So it was fine, I will be there in attendance just in case anybody's going. You see me, say, bitch, is that the yellow bitch, Ashley? Yes, that's her. Oh my God. Don't be like, I saw you, but I didn't know what to say. I ain't wanna, cause that happened to me in Walmart, and y'all know that shit. It catches me so much off guard. This past weekend, it's like they watch me up at Walmart, cause that's where I get the majority of the stuff, and it's from the workers. And shout out to you, girl. I think your name is Amia. Okay, shout out to you. So, and I just don't be knowing what to say sometimes, cause y'all know I'm an introvert. So I be just trying to mind my business, and when people come up to me and I be like, oh, hey, thank you, it feels weird. It feels weird because I'm like, who the fuck am I? Nobody, but whatever. I appreciate the love. Moving on from that. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige album comes out tomorrow, okay, or 12 o'clock midnight. It'll probably, depending on whichever time zone you in, it'll probably be on your phone if you pre-ordered, be downloading by 11 o'clock, okay, tonight. Ashley pre-ordered Strength of a Woman, and I can't wait, because it's just so much stuff that's going on with Mary J. Blige and her whole stuff with this divorce. I just can't wait for her sanity and for her sake, for this divorce to be over with, and for her to completely be done with this man and to move on with her life, and for him to move on with his, because he on some fuck shit. I don't know how true this story is, but a latest story that came out is saying that he spent like over $400,000 on his girlfriend that he was seeing behind Mary's back. Come to find out, this so-called girlfriend is her protege. Some chick that's supposed to be a singer, whatever, her protege. I said, bitch, your career ain't even start yet, and you fucked that shit over, okay? This is not the way that you want to be introduced to the world, to those that don't know of you, okay? Girl, no. If that is the case, that's sad. That's sad. That's what happens when you get in relationships, and then, either one person is making a little bit more, so one person is contributing a little bit more, or, you get them joint accounts. I don't do joint accounts, baby, because what's mine is mine for the moment, okay? I'm gonna have to separate account that shit, bitch. I'm sorry. It's just been too many examples of people just playing people, and I just don't understand. Why would you get into a relationship just to play your spouse? Okay, that's disgusting to me. But I hope they figure that shit out. Speaking about some more money. Steve Harvey ex-wife, is her name Mary Brown or whatever? The one that he just recently, the second ex-wife. Okay, she came out in some videos. I ain't look at all that shit. I skimmed the stuff, but basically what she was saying is he still owes her money. The way that they went about the divorce is they put a warrant out for her arrest or whatever, and she goes down there to see if what the warrant was about, and it was really just them trying to tell her to sign some papers or whatever, and the degree of divorce. And she said she never even saw the divorce papers. Okay, and they never saw the divorce papers. She don't know technically if she really divorced or not. I said, girl, Marjorie is up in there. You divorced, okay? Because she ain't finna let that shit happen. I said, Mary was on there selling all of it. She said he still owe her money, $50 million and all this stuff. I said, girl, where you come up with that number from? But then again, you probably right. And most of the stuff she was saying, I believe it. Like, Steve, he got a new talk show or something that's coming on NBC. Like, he's just trying to be, I don't know, the older Ryan Seacrest, black Ryan Seacrest is just everywhere. And here's my thing about that. First of all, we're gonna pray for Mary, because Marjorie, I'm pretty sure she still got connections to the street. Y'all know her baby daddies is drug kingpins and stuff like that. Girl, when I found that shit out, I was like, girl, what? Okay. Think like a man, act like a woman. I mean, think like a woman, act like a man, huh? Oh, all right. Okay, maybe she the one that really wrote that goddamn book. I didn't read that shit. So, we're gonna pray that Mary stay safe and not the goons come out. But here's my thing with Steve Harvey. Did he acknowledge the fact that Charlie Murphy died? And I understand that, just because we're in the same field don't mean that we all know each other and we're all friends. But did he even just mention it? Because I don't care if I don't know you. I would have mentioned it or whatever. But hey, to each his own at that point. I'm looking at him funny for a while. And I just can't take advice from a man that been through more than one divorce and has so many issues that's going on behind the scenes. I ain't got time for that shit, but y'all can have that. Moving on from there, this shit with Jesse Williams, him and his wife of 5 years. Y'all know Jesse, the Avery Jackson, Jackson Avery off of Grey's Anatomy. He's a wonderful pro-black guy who's very, very woke and very, very conscious. Listen, here's the thing. Him and his wife, a black woman, they're getting divorced for 5 years. I think they have 2 young children too. And people are speculating and saying that he probably was cheating around on her, or he's already seeing somebody else and it's a white girl and all this stuff. And oh, fuck him, how you gonna be coming up here saying all this stuff about black women, but then you go fuck around with a white girl and all this shit? Oh, you fake, and you ain't no pro-black. You can't be pro-black and do all this shit. I'm sitting here like, let me tell y'all how ignorant y'all sound when y'all do that shit, okay? Just because someone has a spouse of a different nationality, culture, color, whatever you want to call it, that does not make them think less of their own self, think less of their own ethnicity, their own nationality, their own culture, their own race, the plight of their people, and all of that shit. It does not make them think less. The majority of them, okay? It does not. Sometimes love will come at you and you be like, damn, bitch, I wasn't even looking for this, but hey, I can't shake you, and that's what fucking happens, okay? Also, let's remember the fact that a lot of our civil rights leaders had spouses that were not black, okay? They had spouses that were not black. Frederick Douglass' second wife was a white woman, okay? Come the fuck on. There was a lot of civil rights leaders in the 1960s and 50s who had white wives, okay? Come on, like, stop it. That don't make them any less here for the cause, any less here for the going against the injustices that's been going on, any less here for African Americans and the issues that befalls us. That does not make them any less, okay? And let's remember the fucking fact that this man is half and fucking half, bitch. His mother is a white woman. his father is a black man. He was, and he has no problem dating and marrying a black woman because he was and he did, okay? So if he want to go date a white woman, I wouldn't give a shit. So what? Y'all act like y'all want him to deny that side of him, okay? He is a white and a black man. I mean, by societal rule, that old ass rule, he's technically a black man, but he is made up and consisted of a black and a white parents, okay? So I really don't give a shit, you know, and it don't make me think less of him. It don't make me think no different about the things that he put out and things that he said about uplifting black people and black women. I don't think less of him. I'm still here on the Jesse Williams train, okay? Sometimes shit don't work out, all right? And it is what the fuck it is. Move the fuck on. Why does it matter so much to you, okay? You out here fucking trash. Moving on. I'm sorry to put that shit out there like that. That just blew me. I said, here we go. Here we fucking go. Speaking of other relationships, Nick Gordon is in a new relationship, okay, with some girl. And she looked like she probably got a little change on her. That's the only way I could see him. I don't know. You know, people was in the comments. I was looking at this on the Shade Room and on the other blogs, and you know, people was like, run, and oh my god, how he with somebody else? What did y'all expect him to stay single forever? I mean, yes, he's in his depression stage. He was being depressed about Bobby Kristina, mostly probably because of guilt, you know, and he probably deeply did love that girl. But the fact of the matter is, he's probably getting out of that finally and moving on with his life finally, and that's healthy, okay? You can't get upset just because he had a past and feel like he ain't supposed to move on and be with somebody else. You don't know if this is going to be the person that's going to make him want to become a better man, be the better man that he didn't be when he was in his previous relationship. You know, correct his missteps. You know what I'm saying? Give niggas a chance. God damn, bitch. Fuck. And let me tell you something. TV1. And I ain't even here for Nick Gordon. Because, you know, I know some shit probably went down. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But let me tell you something. TV1 is still going ahead and putting this movie out. Okay? This Bobby Kristina movie. And I've said time and time again when I first heard about it. Bobby Kristina was what? 22 years old when she passed away? She was young. She was very young. And my thing is, why do we need a Bobby Kristina movie? Okay? We've seen the interviews. We've seen all the other footages. We've seen the reality show. We know how chaotic the life was. Okay? What exactly are you guys going to tell us that we don't know different? Okay? That we haven't seen or that we did not suspect? Okay? And when I see people getting biopics, I feel as though they should have accomplished something. I can understand the Whitney Houston getting a biopic because Whitney Houston was a fucking big star. I can understand Bobby Brown getting something or New Edition getting something because they accomplished a lot. You know what I'm saying? I can even understand the Aaliyah, even though that shit was trash on Lifetime. I can understand them doing that because she was somebody and she passed away tragically too at a young age, but she accomplished stuff. And I'm not even trying to put down Bobby Kristina. She hasn't accomplished anything in her short span of life. Maybe if she would have lived a little bit longer, she probably would have got out of this mode and corrected her some bad missteps and would have been something in the industry. Because I know she was trying to do music too. Maybe that would have succeeded. But at this point in time, it didn't, unfortunately. So what do we do? What do we need a movie for? Okay? To dog out Whitney and Bobby some more, and then to probably put some falsehoods up in there about Whitney, Bobby, and Bobby Kristina. Like, let the child rest. And I know, Pat, this is your fucking doing, bitch. No, girl. You can't tell me no different. You need to work on getting your husband into a rehab. Moving on from that, I'm just y'all was thinking that, bitch, and I said it. Moving on, speaking of some people that need help, Shakana, girl. Now, I was on the blogs, okay? I'm on Instagram, Femiloso T. They put that shit up on there, your post or whatever, saying that this man just beat my ass really, really bad. I said, oh my goodness, Shakana. My first thought was, oh my goodness, what the hell is going on? And then the second one was, I hope you called the cops before you posted this shit online, okay? Because I'm sitting here like, is this attention seeking or you trying to spread awareness or some shit or something like that? I'm confused. But then we finally get the backstory. She said this man had beat her up a couple of times, and this time she did call the cops before she posted the picture, and she posted the picture at that time because when she called the cops, either they were not gonna bring anybody out there or they was taking too long. And I said, ain't this about a bitch? And see, sometimes in law enforcement, they don't take certain issues as seriously. And especially when it comes to people of color. You know, that girl could have got killed. That just reminds me of I keep on coming back to this. I keep coming back to the lady down in Florida who had the daughter and the son. Okay, she was calling the cops because her boyfriend kept on threatening them, kept on saying that he was gonna come over there and hurt her, do all this stuff. They gonna tell her stop playing on the phone. And as soon as they said that shit, he came over there, killed her, and I think either the son or one of her children, and the other one survived. But y'all told her to stop playing on the phone. Y'all need to start taking these domestic issues lightly because it's not to be played with. You know, it's very unfortunate. But I just pray that you know, she kind of surround herself around people who actually care about her and will tell her the right things, like get up out of these situations, do not go back to him. He did it once, he did it twice, he's gonna do it again. Okay, you have to put yourself on blast just to show that this motherfucker is doing this stuff. Put that in your head that you're not supposed to go back. Okay, don't go back. That's to anybody out here. Moving on from that, the doctor from United Airlines, they reached a amicable settlement. Okay, they're not gonna disclose it. It's you know, it's behind closed doors. But basically, what it came out to be is that they went into negotiations, discussions about this. United Airlines is out here putting out PSAs and trying to, you know, fix what happened. They really trying to fix what happened, and so I'm glad. I still want to fly United, okay, but you know that's just me because I personally just like Southwest. But you know it's a good thing that even though it took this director, president of the airline 3 times to put out a statement to realize what was going on was wrong, okay, to acknowledge the wrongness of it. At least they're making forth and putting forth an effort, regardless of if it was social media pressure or whatever. At least they're doing something. At least they said it was an amicable settlement, you know. So everybody agreed, you know. Hopefully, this changes a lot of stuff. Moving on from that, Power, y'all. I cannot wait. Is this season 4 of Power? Season 4 of Power will be back June 25th. Listen, the summer is about to be on 10. You got Power coming back June 25th. You got Survivor Remorse, and you got Survivor's Remorse. You got Ballers, I believe, and you got Issa with Insecure coming back July 23rd. You also got Game of Thrones coming back. Y'all know I love Game of Thrones. Oh my God. Listen, I'm still caught up off that part. If you ain't seen the last season of Game of Thrones, I don't care. You should have been caught up, okay? But you know, you probably want to mute this part. But on that part where oh my God, Cersei, her son that became the king, and then the bitch that was supposed to be his bride and all that stuff, when they tried to force her to, you know, say your sins and all that shit, and she was gonna you know, do all that stuff, and they got them all together and they bombed the whole city and everybody fucking died. I said, bitch, that was some shit. You know, one of the best scenes was when they kept on saying winter is coming. Winter is coming. We was like, God damn it, bitch, y'all been saying winter is coming for like 2 seasons. When is it? And then them dead walkers, the White Walkers came out there, and when they killed all them motherfuckers, and then them dead motherfuckers rose up, I said, bitch, he just added to his goddamn army. That shit took me the fuck out, okay? But anyway, get into Game of Thrones if you haven't gotten into it, okay? Moving on from that, now that we got that all together, shout out to Beyonce. Beyonce has now the Formation Scholars. Okay, she's giving out 4 scholarships to 4 students from 4 different colleges: Howard, the Berklee School of Music, this fashion institute. I can't remember the name, and also Spelman, and it's for the arts, you know. And I'm sitting here like, that's great. That is great. Can we get something else so I can put my bid in and win something like, you know, try to pay some student loans off? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know. And maybe this gonna come a yearly thing, and then you know you get more people, more not just for scholarships, but maybe more. I thought that was really cool. You know, because people say she don't like to do shit for other people, but okay, there you go. She's giving back somehow, paying somebody college or at least a semester or two or something. Cause y'all know college is ridiculous right about now. Bitch, it's probably cost $50,000 in certain schools just to go for one semester. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Okay. Anyway, moving on from that, Aretha fucking Franklin, ma'am, what is going on? What is going on? You you have to understand? You really have to understand how petty and shady to your core a person has to be to hold on to a grudge so small and minute for 5 fucking years, and to all of a sudden release it to get your name in the headlines for fucking what? When you supposed to be retiring, okay? She just started a whole new episode / season of Got to Be Real. And Got to Be Real said they was already done. I said, Patty LaHale, bring your ass back and let's get this shit done. I said, am I looking at the new script? I said, what is going on? Okay, so what wound up happening is she got into her feelings and she was talking to the Associated Press, sent them a fucking long ass fax. Now, see, I knew it was going to be some fuck shit when I heard that she sent the fax. I said, we still fax in 2000? I mean, we do, but damn. You know, usually it's like the easier thing probably would have been to send an email. But, bitch, I want to make sure you get it because you're going to have to go to the fax machine and get that paper. I guess. And she was in her feelings and talking about Diane Warwick probably never liked her. You know, she seen her at this Tribeca Film Festival or some shit like that. And she came over there and she tried to give her a hug and she was like, hell no. I said, bitch. What? I just wish I would have been there to see that shit. Hell no. You see old people going at it. It is the hilarious thing. It is so hilarious. But she is upset and saying that basically defamation of character and libel and all that stuff against Diane Warwick for Diane Warwick coming at Whitney Houston's Whitney Houston's funeral, and announcing that she was there when she was not, because remember she said she wasn't going to be in attendance because her foot was swollen, her feet were swollen, and she had to perform later on that night, I think in New York. And so she was trying to get that situation together. And that was that infamous, huh? Who? I said, Diane, you know she ain't there. Dionne Ward, stop playing. But she said that she was Whitney Houston's godmother. That is what she's pissed off about, y'all. That she calls her godmother. I said, well, damn, if that ain't the most pettiest shit ever. Because somebody, you called you their godmama and you really not, and you gonna get mad. Girl, this shit is so fucking hilarious, but Aretha, from what I've been seeing in like the tweets and stuff, like she had beef with Natalie Cole. Natalie Cole didn't understand what the hell was going on and she looked up to her. Like she had beef with a lot of people for no reason. I'm sitting here like, what's happening, mama? What's going on? I want to see how this shit play out. If Dionne Warwick, well, I keep calling her Diane because I'm thinking of Diana Ross for some reason. If Dionne Warwick responds back, I will fucking kill over. Please don't do this shit. Just let this shit die. Let it the fuck go. Okay. So this drama with the Shea Moisture. Looking. So if you're an African American woman, probably not even African American, you probably seen their products, you know, sometimes in like the drugstores or whatever. I know up in my Walgreens, they have now the skincare regimen, a little bit of section, you know, for us, and then they have the soap over there with You know, and I use the soap, the black soap, which works fine with me and my black spots and stuff like that, and get these little dark spots off of me. See, this is healing this up and all that stuff, you know. So I do buy that product, and I will say I buy the big bar, so it's like $5 or some shit like that. But I don't use the other products. I never use any of their other products because first of all, the shit costs too goddamn much. I'ma just be fucking honest. I'm a cheap bitch, okay? I am not about to pay $10 for a fucking small ass bottle like this. No, girl. No, girl. This look like this bottle was $1.50, okay? Speaking of which, no shade, y'all. My shit is I just got it done, so my scalp is screaming. I'm tender headed, and even if I ain't got braids, when they do it fresh and you gotta pull it together, girl, my scalp be screaming, okay? And I'm trying not to scratch or pop it. But anyway, I ain't finna pay all that money for that shit. But I understand the frustration what was going on, because at first I was a little confused. I seen the trending and I seen a lot of people just up in their feelings about it, and I said, what the fuck did Shea Moisture do? And I saw the video, you know, well, the commercial that it was in conjunction to. And what happened is you see this commercial that's probably was a minute or so long. They basically Pepsi themselves, okay? That's what it was. This is their Pepsi commercial that give them a Pepsi and everything will be good, okay? Just give them some Shea Moisturizer. They'll be all good, okay? Give them some of that product. They'll be all good. Because the commercial was talking about you know, hair hate, how you hate this, how you hate when people say this, and, you know, you can't do this with your hair, and, you know, this texture of your hair and all this stuff, and because of that. And I was still sitting here looking at the commercial the first time, like, I still don't get why people was upset at it. But then I had to look at it again, and then I'm like, oh, you know, I'm listening, because I had to look at stuff a couple of times, and I got to catch the message. And I see what the message is. Okay, you're doing different textures of hair. Fine. But then I'm looking at the imagery of it also, and you see a light-skinned biracial girl. Okay, she got some nice curls. You know, that's, you know, light-skinned biracial. Then you see two, maybe, by the end of the commercial, it was 3 Caucasian women that were highlighted. And then at the end, in these little blocks or whatever, you saw different skin tones of dark blackness, okay, of African Americans. And I was just a little confused, like, so what is this trying to do? Then I had to look into it a little bit more different. From what I'm hearing, Shea Moisture, they changed the formula up a little bit. They trying to, I guess, market to expand their market, you know, to include all types of hair. You know, that's what it looks like, you know, with them, the inclusion of the Caucasian women and all that stuff. And I can understand why people was getting upset and in their feelings about this, because, you know, you are changing a product that worked for us just so it can fit these people, well, other people, you know, Caucasian people who have multiple lines, multiple lines of, you know, hair care regimen that works for them. And this is something that we have for us. And now you want to change it. And we are the ones who help put you on the map. We the one that was buying your products and all that stuff. So, of course, it's the outrage about that. And, you know, Shea Moisture came out there and tried to, you know, smooth it over and said they saw the error in their ways, especially with the imagery in the commercial. They pulled the commercial, and they, I guess they understand what's going on. But, I mean, if they wanted to do this, I have no problem. See, that's the thing. And I understand, you know, sometimes we just want to use black-owned products and just want it to be for black people or whatever. But we have to realize, even just like you can put some white shit out there, you still use it. If it's by a white company or some white person, you still use that shit, you know. And black people, I mean, Shea Moisture, there's a lot of stuff that's targeted towards black folks, by black folks, that other races, other ethnicities, other nationalities probably will use eventually, okay, or have used or are using. So you can't really stop them from using it. You know, that it's probably some people that, bitch, I like the fucking fell out when I seen DJ Khaled using and promoting the fuck out of cocoa butter. I said that was a black secret. You know what I'm saying? So, it happens and it's gonna happen. You have to have diversity sometimes. And I guess people feel like, Shea Moisture was selling out because you're selling out for money. And, you get a wider audience, you get more money or whatever. But this is a business and that shit happens. But I do 100% understand the outrage in it. Okay? And especially if you're going in there and you're changing the formula. How do you know? If you're changing it and mixing it up a little bit just so this, girl, what? I'm used to this. What if my shit all of a sudden I'm going to grow a beard, bitch? What the fuck? It's not funny, but I get it. It's a mixture of a lot of things that, people have a right to be upset with. But we have to understand that even though there is a product that is really targeted for us, not just us is going to use it or have been using it. You know what I'm saying? But I totally understand. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about that. Do you feel as though the outrage is warranted? Do you feel as though it was needed? If you use Shea Moisturizer and the products, I'm probably not even saying it right. Tell me how you feel. Okay? About it. Is it gonna stop you from using it, bitch? It wouldn't stop me from, if I already had. I'm like that girl in that in that video. She was like, bitch, I'm not finna use or buy nothing else from you. I'm finna throw this. Well, hold on. This shit is still kind of full. Well, when I finish the product, then we'll do some shit about it, okay? And I think they just got commercials and they just got on TV showing that they're putting their own they get their own section finally in name stores, like big name stores. Because, I see them in Walmart a lot. And I've seen it y'all know in Walmart, there's literally a aisle that says ethnic hair. I said, bitch, it takes me out every time I go over there. Okay. This tea tree oil was in ethnic hair aisle. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and I know, and I see more than black folks getting that shit. So, it is what it is. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. But I understand. What else is going on? People I don't care about. Kodak Black back up in jail, bitch. He about to get sentenced again for probation violation. What's the name? Kevin Gates, he got sentenced to 30 more months, okay, out here in Chicago for a gun charge, I think. Listen, and niggas up in the comments of these stuff, oh, free this and free him, and y'all doing this and the system is this. No, nigga, you did the fucking crime. You literally you violated your probation in the dumbest way where you got caught. Nigga came on a goddamn Breakfast Club with a fucking mask on thinking that nigga, you ain't even cut your hair at that time. We knew who the fuck it was. Come on now. Like, if you do the crime, expect to do a little bit of time. And if you violate the shit, why don't you, expect to get the punishment for? All right? You claim that you didn't know that this was happening or somebody else was in charge of this. If you are on probation and stuff is going on, this is why I say y'all need to stay on top of your finances, on top of all your personal business and the important stuff, and don't just leave it to one person or this person or whatever, because they can fuck you over and they can forget themselves. You have to learn to stay up on top of your own shit. I mean, if you're really serious about staying free and being legal and all this stuff, stay up on your shit. What the fuck? Anyway, so there's that. Ain't no, free this and I'm, they got my girl. Fuck that. Anyway, you did it. You did it, bitch. K Michelle versus Angela Yee and Lonnie Love. That's what I wanted to get on. So I was looking at the reel. Yeah. I look at the girl chats. I really do. I ain't gonna fucking lie to y'all. I look at the girl chats. That's the only thing that I can stomach. Because after that, I gotta turn that shit off. And sometimes I turn the shit off in the middle of the girl chats. Because they be doing the fucking most. Bitch, it's like, all of a sudden, 10 minutes to go past and it'll be cool, okay? And I'll be like, all right, this is nice. Most of the shit that they talking about, I can't relate to because, bitch, I ain't no girly bitch like that, okay? But then all of a sudden, tears will start coming out. Tamara start crying, and then Lonnie will start crying, and then Adrian will start crying, and then Jenny Maya will start crying. I said, it's a domino fucking effect. And it's like every other show they start crying. I'm sitting here like, let me turn this shit off. I ain't gonna watch it no more. And then I'll be watching it the next day. I don't understand it, but I do. I don't get it, but I do. So Angela Yee last week was, and she's from Power 105.1 Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. Y'all remember that interview that Angela Yee got into it with K. Michelle, or I should say K. Michelle got into it with Angela Yee. Because Angela Yee, she really wasn't trying to go back and forth with her. K. Michelle just came out of nowhere and was talking as a woman. Where that mean come from as a woman. You know, she just came at her. She felt some type of way or whatever. And so they was, addressing it on the show and talking about people, you know, when you have to work with people, when you have to, I guess, show a certain decorum or whatever, handle certain situation when people try to come at you wrong or whatever. And then Lonnie Love was like, what happened with you and that girl? You know, that R&B singer, what's her name? Keisha Cole? Nah. She was like, no, not Keisha. And it was like, nah, K. Michelle. Yeah, K. Michelle. She was like, yeah, that was on some Love and Hip Hop type shit, okay? She had the cameras there and all that stuff. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, you know, Adrian was like, let that would be me. It wouldn't did this and all this stuff. Now, everybody but except for Tamara had an opinion on this stuff, okay? Whether they mumbled it or they got caught on the mic saying it, they had an opinion on it, all right? And then, you know, Lonnie was like, and you handled it so good because you just stood there, you just sat there and let her go like, that's how you supposed to do the stuff. And then Jenny Ma said, that's what you do. You let crazy look crazy. Now, see, I thought that would have been the comment that got the bitch riled up because I sure enough tweeted after I watched it. I said, bitch, the way Lonnie kind of shaded the way, it was shady. It was a little shade. It was jokey shade, okay? You knew that girl wasn't Keisha Cole and you knew it was K fucking Michelle, bitch. That's one, okay? And the way that she kind of brought it up, it was shady just a little bit in a joking kind of way. And I just said I knew K Michelle was going to come back with this shit and say some stuff, bitch. I just knew she wasn't going to take it as a joke. And sure the fuck enough, 2 days later, I guess K Michelle finally watched something or somebody sent her a clip and said, watch this shit. And she went the fuck off on Lonnie Love. I said, I understand because she brought your name up first, but why you just go in on Lonnie? Adrian said a little something, and Jenny Ma said, let crazy look crazy. Bitch, she called you crazy. That's how I interpreted that shit. You probably was like, I am crazy, so, you know, she get a little pass. But I guess since Lonnie is a bigger, I guess an easy target, you know, she went directly for Lonnie, and Lonnie was giving it back. And I was just sitting here like, this is interesting, but let this shit go, because this is not even worth it. K. Michelle, you was doing good, okay? You out here hustling. Your 4th album is about to come out. You just opened up your little restaurant. You have your little Jack Daniel drinks out, okay? And from what I hear, everything is doing good. Don't allow yourself to be pulled back into the bullshit over nothing. You didn't even have to respond to this. Okay, it wasn't nothing to really respond. And she went in on Angela Yee too. But Angela Yee, I don't think responded or nothing. And I'm just sitting here like, why you have to respond? I understand we're human, but you could have let that shit roll off your back. Like Lonnie said, if you want to talk about it, you can come on the show. I said, bitch. She said, who the fuck still watch that shit? And then when Lonnie talked about it, they brought it up this week, yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Either way, one of these days they brought it up on this week about what happened. And then, you know, Lonnie was joking about it or whatever. She just really didn't care. And I don't know. So K. Michelle, she apologized for whatever. But K. Michelle sent out this tweet and was like, just don't ever mention my name. I said, girl, it was passive aggressive as fuck, okay? It was like a thank you for apologizing, but bitch, if you ever put my name in your mouth again, I'm sitting here like, oh, goddamn, Kay, I thought y'all was trying to end this shit. In it. But then Lonnie came back with something and it was cute. It was, shade with shade, and they ended the shit. Y'all, we gotta stop letting the stupid shit get us riled up, okay, and knock us off, okay? Because these celebrities can do that shit and they can go about their day. Us regular folks, sometimes that shit affect our jobs, affect our life. We ain't got time for that, okay? Don't let the small shit get to you, okay? Sometimes it's best. You can't answer every fucking thing that comes at you, okay? Just ignore the shit and just move the fuck on and let them look stupid, okay? If that's the case, don't entertain it. Don't entertain it and don't blow it up. And the last thing I want to speak about is the part 2 of Nephew with Fix My Life with Iyanla. All I'm gonna say is, I feel bad for Shelby, her husband, because that man was literally sitting there pouring his heart out and being open. Whatever wall he had up, he broke that wall down immediately. And that's what Young was trying to do with Neffy, but she wasn't trying to go there. She wanted to place blame on everybody else. She wanted to say she's over the fact that she's being raped. She's been raped or whatever when she was a kid. No, she's not. You know, this man is trying to tell you how he feels and you're belittling him. Now I know you ain't serious. You got to be out your guy. I said, damn, you know. And at one point they did come to a compromise, or not a compromise, a understanding that, hey, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. But when you do this, it makes me feel this way. Okay, I'm not gonna do that either. You know, I love you. I'm here for you and all this stuff. This shit didn't work because he changed onto this positive path. Neffy kept on doing the same thing that she been doing. And Neffy been doing this shit since we first seen her ever. Alright. That's the reason why Keisha and her, because like I said when we first talked about this, I never understood why Neffy and Keisha couldn't get the shit together, especially on the last reality show Keisha Cole had. And they were not kicking it. And they was trying to work on their relationship. But I see now why. It's Neffy. It's fucking Neffy. She's stubborn as shit. Okay? She's stubborn and she's scorned and she's hurt. She's dealing with all the past hurt from her childhood on up. You know, hurt by so many people. And she don't know how to heal from it. And she don't know how to let that go. Okay? She just, I don't know. I don't know. She reminds me so much of my auntie who passed away. She was just like a, just could not get it right. Could not get it right. Blame everybody else for her issues and just didn't see that you were slowly killing yourself and pushing people away. Ugh. Anyway, they getting a divorce. I can't wait to see next week's episode. Well, this Saturday's episode with Terrell Jackson on there. Now, that's Michael Jackson's nephew. That's Tito's one of three of Tito's sons. Tito had 3 sons: Terrell, TJ, and Terrion. Is it Terrion? Bitch. Tito Jr. That's TJ. What is this? Taj. God damn it, bitch. You know, I'm a Jackson fan, so I know this shit. You know, and they had a little group called 3T back in the early 90s. You know, it had a hit or two. And I remember they came out with a reality show recently. I think at the end of last year. No, the beginning of last year, whatever. And if you saw that show, I can't remember the name of it, but it was only 1 season. But if you saw the show and you saw Terrell in his relationship with his girlfriend, that ain't even his wife, okay? She is a bitch. That man is trying to be there. And I just can't stand when people, I don't care who it is, a spouse, make it so difficult for another spouse to be around you. And that's how it is. She has issues out the ass. And at this point, he's like, if it wasn't for the kids, he'd just be gone. Okay? I can't wait to see how that is. Y'all know I know all about this shit. But, I gave y'all a full ass video tonight. I will see you guys later on tonight for Scandal. Okay? Probably in a couple of hours or so. You know. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I think I might go see Slight tomorrow with Jacob Lattimore, and he got magic. You know, I might go see that tomorrow after work. But, you know, you guys be safe, be warm, be cool, and I will see you guys later. Peace.